This year, musician Daniel Allan raised $140,000 to crowdfund his new album, while only 6 months ago he was making mere hundreds of dollars a month from streaming platforms. How did he do it? He turned to music NFTs. But what's wrong with the music industry? How can music NFTs help artists be more creatively free and earn more? What benefits will fans get? And when will blockchain streaming services replace traditional ones? My name is Zainura, and let's dive in. So, what are music NFTs? Music NFT is a certificate of ownership of a unique musical work that can be sold to another party, which gets full rights over its future use. The term NFT applies to any fungible token secured on a blockchain. Fungible token meaning multiple copies exist and are owned by various parties. Basically, music NFTs are helping composers, bands, and music artists connect and interact with their listeners in new ways. Also, they potentially allow artists to monetize the work without the need for traditional music publishers. What are the criteria for music NFT? The first criteria is that it's sold directly by an artist or music brand, such as Verite or Billboard. For example, The Dreamers. Secondly is that it features cited musical or audio contributions from a recording artist. For example, Leon Bridges.
What's up, everybody? It's Leon here. So excited to reveal my first piece of digital fashion.
Thirdly is that it's tied to an artist or music brand in its perceived value. For example, Speakerheads. Next is that it revolves around music and music culture as its core theme or value proposition. And finally, that it's released on music-specific NFT platforms such as Royal or Catalog. Now, what are the main issues with the current model of the music industry? Well, only the top 1% of artists receive 90% of all streams, and only about the top 0.8% earn an average of $50,000 per year from streaming. There are two main factors in this. Firstly, the fees are being naturally split between multiple stakeholders in the artist's music. And secondly, the record label usually holds the masters, the original recording of the song, and so the label has full control over where and when it's played. The social media platforms such as YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok have somewhat returned the artist's creative freedom. However, there's still no viable instrument to monetize it properly. Now, let's talk about how music NFTs are different from streaming services, because here they also provide some cutting-edge opportunities. Streaming services usually take a cut for each stream, making it tough for the artists. And ultimately, roughly 70% of the revenue ends up with the music rights holders, and the discovery feature puts lesser-known artists at a disadvantage. Another problem with the current paradigm is that music has become too cheap. The MP3 format, the internet, and streaming services made it too readily available. For example, on Amazon, you need 250 streams just to make $1.
I'm sorry.
With music NFTs, the crypto world has secured a foothold within the music industry. The artists have high incentives to start minting the music into NFTs and monetizing their work better. Although by sheer numbers, it's still early to speak of direct competition with streaming services, music NFTs are clearly on the rise. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if both models can coexist or if one dominates over the other. What are the advantages of using music NFTs? Well, firstly, they allow you to own a song forever and listen to it whenever you want to. Secondly, if your NFT gives you access to live events, you shouldn't worry about losing your ticket. Thirdly, NFTs can be used as a reward, giving fans special privileges. Next, artist work is monetized directly by their fans, eliminating the middlemen. NFTs and music are very popular forms of entertainment, so combining them helps you reach more people and grow the brand. Last but not least, artists will have more transparency over fan data, as fans will have to verify their identity, which is actually important, especially for live and exclusive events. Now, what are the possible disadvantages? The first one is scams, and so it's important to always be careful and create NFTs via reputable services. Secondly, artists need to do full research on the fees involved in creating and selling NFTs, as they can add up. Thirdly, there might be technical problems, as the infrastructure is not so established yet. Finally, there is a built-in entry barrier into the NFT music space. It prioritizes artists who are tech-savvy, extroverted, and are constantly online.
But remember, with great processing power comes great responsibility.
Now, you're probably wondering, are there any success stories? Well, although it's still early days, NFTs can still benefit both established and lesser-known artists. For example, Daniel Allan. He used to receive only hundreds of dollars a month from streaming and took odd jobs, despite his songs getting millions of plays. But over the past half year, he turned to NFTs, selling digital copies of his electronic pop songs for thousands of dollars each. And so it allowed him to raise 50 ETH, about $140,000 in one day, to crowdfund his new album. He auctioned off 50% of his share of future master royalties, which is much less than a label would take, thus giving him money up front and full creative autonomy. Allan now makes 85% of his living off NFTs. There are numerous examples of well-known artists turning to music NFTs as well, including Grimes, Kings of Leon, BTS, Steve Aoki, and many others. Music NFT can benefit very different artists if they're willing to adopt the new strategy. Now, what are Web3 streaming services? Well, Web3 streaming services are decentralized and blockchain-powered musical platforms. The most prominent of them can allow artists to distribute their music for free. Also, musicians receive 90% of the sales revenues or more. Web3 streaming services can have their own token and sometimes pay artists with tokens. And they usually don't allow to mint music NFTs. Last but not least, they support integration with SoundCloud, Spotify, TikTok, and other Web2 platforms. The successful Web3 streaming services include Audios, Emanate, and Opus. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, and share this video, as it allows us to make more interesting content for you. And what topics would you like us to make a video about? Share in the comments. What are NFT music marketplaces? NFT marketplaces allow artists to easily create NFTs that consist of songs or entire albums, and those can be sold to fans without any middleman. But what's important to keep in mind when choosing a marketplace is whether you're minting one NFT or a collection of NFTs that are each individually priced. For collections, you should consider OpenSea or Rarible, which are two of the largest marketplaces in the world. OpenSea doesn't charge any listing or minting fees. It actually operates on a standard marketplace model, taking a 2.5% cut of all transactions, and it's compatible with Ethereum and Polygon blockchains. Rarible is a multi-chain marketplace with minting options on Ethereum, Flow, and Tezos blockchains, and it allows minting of batch NFTs. Also, it's the first community-based NFT marketplace. Choosing a platform depends on what you're intending to do. If you want to mint one NFT, you can go to platforms like SuperRare, Foundation, and Zora. But you should also keep in mind the application process and the minting fees. But you can actually choose a marketplace according to your preferences.
Ketchup. Ketchup.
What are music-specific NFT marketplaces? Well, as the name suggests, these marketplaces only deal with music, not the whole range of NFTs, and they operate under different schemes. For example, they can combine minting, streaming, and community listening, and artists can often keep 100% of the sales revenue. NFTs can be bought and sold by collectors, and NFTs can give them rights to the artist's future royalties. But at the moment, music-specific NFT marketplaces might include difficult application procedures and waiting lists. Interesting examples include Catalog, Sound.xyz, Async Music, and Royal. As you can see, music-specific and other NFT marketplaces provide a lot of exciting options. They can potentially help artists of different levels, styles, and strategies to monetize the work better than they would through a traditional label or streaming channels. Now, what are the top upcoming music NFT project drops of 2022? Well, the first one is MetaNet project, happening on OpenSea from June to July. MetaNet promises the possibility to start growing your assets in a world of hyper-realistic aesthetics and immediate immersive experiences. The second one is Hands on Venus, or HOV, happening on OpenSea as well from June to July. HOV is launching to create an NFT talent label for street artists, run by a DAO. Last but not least is Hypersound God's Drop, happening in July on Mintable. Hypersound aims to bring order in the music industry's chaos by creating a Web3 infrastructure that would bring monetary benefits for both music lovers and artists. So, to sum up, the future is looking bright for music NFTs. More and more people see it as a viable alternative to the current system of major music labels. NFTs provide artists with more creative control, better shares of sales revenue, and more positive involvement with their fan-base community.
I'm seeing the future, and it's looking very bright.
On the other hand, it's still too early to tell when the NFT market will begin to seriously compete with the established and existing streaming services. But anyway, even in such early days, music NFTs create a lot of opportunities for both established and emerging artists, as long as they can be tech-savvy, extroverted, and independent. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you liked it, if you'd like, and check out some of the other content we've made. Have a wonderful day.